Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. I appreciate the support. My name is Joe Josh. I go by iChart Daily. Today is November 22nd, 2023, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a window to my thought process on how I do a technical analysis breakdown on Bitcoin and Kaspa, KAS. First and foremost, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. This is strictly my opinions. So, with that being said, a lot played out yesterday. We fell back down to our major support level that we were expecting, right? We knew that there was room to bleed. And now we're at that 50 line. So, the first thing I want to show you is the 50 line is this. Your most recent resistance turned into support. Now, the reason why I'm about to change this trend line is because your trend lines go with the trend indicator, okay? Indicator is going up, trend lines are going up. Indicator is going flat, your trend lines need to go flat, okay? And right now, I said in yesterday's video, we're watching the 2-day and the 3-day because those are the time frames that have the next golden cross and line in the sand about to crack, meaning we broke the 70. Showing us that we have room to bleed until we're, well, not extremely, but oversold on a 2-day. And on a 3-day, once again, we're getting that death cross on the horizon, and we're still above the 70. So this is the next crack in the ice that's going to give you a heads up of when the next volume is coming out of Bitcoin. The next candle that is printing is on Friday. So we have 2 more days of Bitcoin to do what it needs to do to prove that the bearish divergence is playing out. What do I mean by that? These are trailing indicators. Price action needs to happen in order for the MACD and the RSI to move. So as of right now, we still are in this somewhat uptrend, but I do think we have the bearish divergence that's going to give you a higher probability of a bearish top playing out. And what do I mean by that? As you start forming a top, and you start getting bearish divergence on longer time frames, the long-term trends predict the short-term outcomes, right? So the weekly is overbought. We're getting a red candle. We're now starting to see our first light blue volume on the MACD, showing you that volume's coming down. The first of the 2 indicators that's going to show you the bearish divergence or bullish divergence first is the RSI. So once again, I'm setting an alert here at the 69.10, showing me that we have a couple of weeks to come back to at least the 58, which is the moving average. So as long as we're having a couple of red weeks, we know we're going to have a couple of red days, right? High probabilities. So what am I seeing? Because we're getting the bearish divergence on the 2-day and the 3-day, because the MACD is now going flat and coming down, I'm not expecting us to continue making a higher high to the 37.7. I'm expecting us to do what it's doing. You can see it's respecting this descending triangle. As soon as the 2-day started to death cross here, we're now going down, right? Why do I say that? Don't trust anything I say, cuzzy. Go to the chart and literally, I'm going to go over it with Kaspa, but scroll down and look at the chart and look at the waves, right? MACD down, MACD up, MACD down, MACD up, and look at the price action. The wave's about to crash, okay? Look at the RSI. RSI broke the 70, went down to the, right? Blood, right? Death cross blood, death cross down blood, death cross down blood. When you form this process, you allow yourself to say, trust the charts, and you don't let the emotions or any of the outside noise affect your trading process. So what I'm expecting now on a daily, because we're oversold, right? We're at the 50. We're not going to break the 35,682 yet. I think we have about 1 or 2 days left to form another lower high in this trend, right? We went from here. We're making higher lows, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. As soon as the 2-day showed the bearish divergence, we saw a reversal candle and a lower high. This is the first time that we're getting the same low but a lower high. So what that shows me is like a descending triangle, right? So we could come back up, see rejection at this range here again of the 36.7 to potentially the 37.2, form yet another lower high to these here, and that shows us that the bearish divergence is really playing out. As you continue printing lower highs in the same low, you're coming to that apex moment, right? There's no more room between support and resistance here. So we don't know if we have one more leg up and then we're going to do this, or if we could potentially have two legs up and then we do this. But overall, as we continue making lower highs, it leans more towards that bearish divergence playing out on the 2-day, the 3-day, and then eventually the weekly, showing us that the midterm trend is changing for the worse. When the midterm trend changes for the worse, this happens and this happens. So I'm expecting that to potentially happen over here and wind up anywhere from 32.1 to potentially 29.6. The reason why I still think it creates a higher low to these waves here and continuously all the way down to 15,000 is because the monthly MACD and RSI remains bullish. So once again, where you can have a bad week or two in a good month, you can have a bad couple of months in a good year. The overall long-term macro trend is showing us that this is the beginning of a bull market. So because of that, I'm not expecting the weekly to crash past 25.3. I'm expecting it to respect these higher low trends and land somewhere over here. So with that being said, now you understand the technical analysis. You set alerts. You want to set an alert right below this yellow line here at 35.4, notifying you that the structure is changing. Let's just say 35.2 because it's your most recent low here. You want to notify yourself that this could happen here. It doesn't necessarily mean we're having a pump up, especially if whales or large players like hedge funds they understand what the play is happening right now. So once again, I'm going to set alert here, notifying me that the bearish trend is playing out. I'm going to set an alert, not here, I don't know why it's there, here, right above this high here of 36.7, notifying me I want to know if we're going to form that lower high here. So now you understand the trend, you understand what you got to do, right? I do think we come back up, but once again get rejected to the 70, continuous, showing us that this is a continuation to the downside. Now I want to show you how you find trends using the MACD and RSI to eliminate the noise, cuzzy, right? Everything happens in waves, and you could see here, right? The first thing that you want to notice is where the wave's stopping on the RSI to help you understand if the wave is done, if the wave has more room to go, right? Look at this. We went 1, 2, 3, 4, little one, big one, right? But either way, there's waves. Top of the wave, 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 top of the wave. And now you're asking me where we are now. Well, looking at this, right, and then looking at the MACD, when was a good time for you to possibly accumulate more of this coin? And the first one is obviously back to the 50 and back down to over here. The only problem is when it went below the 50, you had time to break this previous high, okay? So, once again, where are we now? We're at a level, right? This is just simple stuff. We're at a level that we have seen major resistance almost every single time, right? Regardless of the news, the fundamentals, the partnerships, what's going on with Kaspa, the circulating supply, the team behind it, when it went to this part of the RSI on the 2-day, the run was basically over. So now what you're looking for is where should I be accumulating more Kaspa, right? If you're looking to buy more of it, now you're looking for support levels like this, right? And you can see we went down, we went up, we came down, bounced off the 50, went up, came down, bounced off the 50, continuation to the upside. Went up, came down, bounced off the 50, continuation to the upside. You're above the 70 at the 79. The first line in the sand is breaking the 70. It could come down to the 70 and extend a little bit more, but once again, there are certain rules that I have followed over the past 16 years that allow me to understand my risk reward. I don't chase green candles. That's it. My father was an options trader for almost 30 years. I've been doing technical analysis for 16 years. I've been in crypto for almost 9 years. I don't chase green candles. Why do I say that? When you chase green candles, you're buying into selling pressure, okay? When you buy into red candles and wicks on the bottom, you're buying into selling pressure. So once again, if you're looking to accumulate more, the first thing you need to look at is the RSI and the MACD. MACD showing signs of weakness. The first one that's going to show you is the RSI. And this is what you want to see. Okay, right now we are staying above this support level. We are forming this fanning channel that's opening up, but we want to see, is this the top here, 15.4. So you got to play this right. You can see here it hasn't depth crossed yet, and it continuously just going higher and higher and higher, but you always start with the longer time frame that gives you the least amount of fake outs, right? Same thing here. When the RSI went to this level above the 70, anywhere from the 77 to the 87, it was over, okay? Came back down a little bit higher, but it was over after that, okay? Went up, it was over after that. Went up, it was over. Went up, it was over. Now you're at a level that it was like here, and it was here, okay? So you have a little bit of probability of it coming back down to the 70, staying above this support level, and then going even higher. And what do I mean by that? That's this, okay? We did this, we did this, and now you're expecting possibly one more, right? To give you an idea where it goes. Unfortunately, when there is no price action to the left, it's hard to see where previous resistance is going to be. Possibly might use the fib to see it's bouncing off the 0.382, which is good. I'm curious to see where this would take us. You go from the high to the low. I'm curious to see where the 618 is going to be here. 13,852, and if it was to break out, you're looking at 16.7 to potentially 18.2 would be your next resistance levels. But you got to play it safe, bro. Right? Once again, you don't want to be chasing something when it's already at extreme overbought territory. Okay? Is there a little bit of room to grow? Of course. But another thing you got to look at is this. Okay? This, you got how many days until this descending triangle potentially meets its apex moment. So you don't want to be buying on an alt along, not financial advice, but you don't want to be buying along on an alt when Bitcoin is looking top heavy. You want to make sure Bitcoin is bottomed and we're getting a golden cross and we're coming back up and making even a higher high. Then you could see your coin going and flying to the moon, right? Because once again, Kaspa, I don't know what its market cap is. Market cap's like 2.7 billion on a tear, right? On an absolute tear. This thing, June 22, is up 75,000%. Not financial advice, but once again, maybe every 100, 200%, you're taking profit on the way up. All of these coins are going to be flying over the next year or so. I'm going to make another exit strategy video. Unfortunately, I had it on my last channel. Channel's gone. I'm going to make it again. All these coins, regardless of how much it goes up, they're going to consolidate 85 to 95% in the next bear market. When things are going up, I get not bearish, but I'm thinking more bearish, right? Because what comes up comes down, what comes down goes up. And now this is going up, okay? This could be a great coin depending on, I don't know what the circulating supply is, whatever it is, but it's already up an astronomical amount. 46,000% from here, 75,000 just in the past 14 days. It's up 140%. Over the past month, 200%. In the last year, let's just say right here, 365. Let's take the peak. It's still up 13 to 1400%. Don't get caught out there. meaning just because something's up this much doesn't mean it's the best project out there. It just means that there's a lot of money available to make in this type of market with low cap coins. They move faster, they move easier, especially if the founder does it the right way and makes like a low circulating supply. Then your coin could really fly. But that's my technical analysis. I don't chase green candles. I don't buy into longs, especially when Bitcoin's forming a top over the next week or so. Once again, look at the chart yourself. You don't need to be a technical analysis genius. Look at the tops, look at the bottoms, look at the tops, look at the bottoms, look at the tops, look at the tops, look at the bottoms. Once the 2-day death crosses and we break the 70 line, that's when you're going to have major blood back down to potentially maybe like here. Right? Lower highs, lower lows eventually, let it form its top, and then form something back over here. Why do I say that? Look at it here. Look at it here. Look at it here. Right? And then what you do is you want to play apples to apples, compare apples to apples, and be like, yeah, this one lasted 60 days. This one lasted 26 days. This one lasted 24 days. So this is a big one comparable to this one. This one could last about 30, 40, 50, 60 days, have a nice little 40% correction. 40% correction? No way! Well, you go in the past and you say this one was 67%, right? And this one was 54%. This one was 67%, and this one was 65%. Anyone who says anything without backing it with data is just their opinion. So if I say there's a potential 40 to 60% drop on the horizon, and then I back it up with previous price action, that holds more value, cuzzy. Enjoy the day. I love you guys. I hope you learned something from these videos. I'm trying to teach you how to fish so we could all eat together. Do me a favor. If you appreciate these videos, please comment just something, anything. It helps with the algo, push my channel to the masses because it's very new. I don't even have 100 subscribers yet. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I make these videos almost every other day or every day. And like the video. Support is free. Thank you. I love you. Enjoy the day. And let's make some money. Hypothetically, this is not financial advice. Enjoy the day.